Oh my gosh, it has been so awesome to meet some of you guys. I was at the dinner last night, and to be around you guys and to see the sisterhood and the community that you guys have created is just absolutely incredible. It is about damn time women come together and support each other and lift each other up. And I'm just so impressed with you guys. So I'm really, really excited to be here, and I am so excited about what I am about to share with you. All right, let me just try to figure out how this thing works. You guys, what button do I click? There we go. Okay, so the very first thing that I want to tell you guys is to actually not take notes for this presentation. So this is going to be a very hands-on approach. You guys are going to have an experience today, and what I will do is at the end of this presentation, I'll actually give you guys the notes. So I'm going to give you guys a whole bunch of free stuff. So just allow yourself to kind of relax into this, be fully present, and that's how you're going to have the best experience here. You're welcome. Woo! Oh. Okay. So Devon already kind of told you what we're going to be doing today, but today we're going to be talking about food cravings, okay? And you guys are going to actually have an experience with food cravings. How many of you guys struggle with food cravings? Yeah, almost everybody here. Okay. And food cravings are is that kind of thing that, this is so complementary to what you guys are learning with Kaelin's work, right? So it's you have all the right information, you have all the right tools, you guys know how to eat healthy, you know how to exercise, you know how to do all the right things, and then that craving hits, right? And the chocolate is eat me. It's calling to you from the cupboard, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I do the y'all thing when I'm in Texas. I don't know. It just comes out. I'm from California. I don't even know where that comes from. So today what you guys are going to learn is you're going to learn a simple technique that's actually self-applied. So you can do it to yourself. You don't have to go to a coach. You don't have to go to a psychologist. You don't even need to call me. You guys can do this completely on your own. That is one of the most powerful things about this technique, is that it's self-applied. So once you guys learn these steps, which is super, super simple, I'm going to take you through today, you're going to never feel out of control around food ever again. How cool is that? Woo! Button's shifty. Okay, so I'll just kind of tell you guys a little bit about my story. So when I was 15, I was kicked out of my house, and that's another story for another day. But what I ended up doing was because I couldn't live at home with my parents, I rented a room from a strange woman. I found her in the newspaper. And, I got a job, and I started working and paying my bills and stuff, and it was a really, really difficult time. And I was really scared. 15 is really young. I'm sure you guys could probably have kids that are 15. So it's a really young age for a kid to be out on her own. And, I was trying to be really positive and powerful, but at night when I was all alone in my room, my cravings would hit because I felt so alone and so empty and so unloved. And so at first I didn't realize what I was doing. I just really thought I liked Mexican pizzas from Taco Bell. And then I woke up one day and I couldn't fit into my jeans, and I was like, crap. So I did what everyone would do, right? You go on a diet. So I tried all the diets, every fad diet you could ever possibly try. I tried it, and my problem got worse, not better. And by the grace of God, actually my parents introduced me to a psychologist who is still in my life today. And he started teaching me about the mind, and specifically the subconscious mind, which I didn't know this at the time, but it actually has 80% of the decision-making power in everything that you do. So while my conscious mind was telling myself to lose weight, my subconscious mind was telling me, eat the Mexican pizza, right? And so through going to these sessions with him, I started learning and I started growing. And then one day, it was about a year into our work together, he said to me, I just learned this technique over the weekend. It looks really weird. You're going to think I'm crazy, but I think it might help you. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I was still really struggling with cravings at that point because I couldn't control my mind. And so we tried it. And sure enough, I felt ridiculous. Like, you guys will probably feel ridiculous today. But at the end of that session, it was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And I felt the lightest that I had ever felt in my whole life. And sure enough, the more I used this technique, the less I wanted food. And over the years of my work with him, I discovered that there are these subconscious blocks in our mind, in our subconscious mind, that were causing me to crave food when I wasn't really hungry. And a lot of it had to do with trauma and, bad experiences that had happened to me. And so through my work with this psychologist and using this technique, I was able to completely transform my life. I graduated high school, which nobody thought I would do. I ended up getting a really high-paying job. I felt the happiest that I had ever felt. And, fast forward now, for the last 5 years, I've dedicated my work to helping other women uncover what their weight loss blockers are and release these cravings and these emotional eating urges. So that's why I'm here today, and, thank you. So I want to get right into it because, like I said, this is an experience for you guys, and I'm on a timer, so I want to make sure you guys really understand this. So the very first thing that I want to explain to you is that, a lot of people beat themselves up about cravings. And I just hate that because I did that too, don't you guys think, what do you think when you think about, I ate that cookie and I told myself I wouldn't? You think you have shitty willpower, right? Sorry, can I say that word? Sorry. Okay. You think you have crappy willpower, right? And you beat yourself up and you're like, man, why did I do that? I told myself I wouldn't eat the cookie, but I ate it, and right? And it's like this spiral, and it's just, that's so heartbreaking to me because it actually has nothing to do with willpower. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do an exercise, and I'm going to have everybody play along here, and you guys give me feedback, okay, if you have questions. So what I discovered in all of my work with food and emotional eating was that food cravings actually don't come from lack of willpower. They come from positive memories from your past. So I want everybody right now to think about what is your favorite food, all right? And when I say your favorite food, this is the food that you don't buy because if it's in the house, that shit calls to you. I'm in the cupboard. Come eat me. Okay, what's that food for you? Chocolate, pizza, cookies, ice cream, pizza. All right. Good, okay. So now what I want you guys all to do is I want you to close your eyes and really think about this. I want you to think about what are your earliest memories of eating this food? Who did you eat this food with? So 9 times out of 10, you'll go back to a very positive memory or a positive time. Okay, because, when we're young, we all, maybe not all, but a lot of us have had those experiences where you have a special outing with dad, and you guys go get that special ice cream, and it's just you and dad, and that's probably the only time that you get with him every Sunday, or baking cookies with grandma, right? Grandma's love, and grandma's just so happy to have you at her house. She's like, honey, let's just bake cookies together. So what happens in your mind is your mind works like a filing cabinet. Your mind works like a filing system. So what happens for people who struggle with food cravings and emotional eating, your mind has filed food cravings in the filing box with grandma's love. That's all. So when you eat the food, when you eat the chocolate chip cookies, it's like you're ingesting grandma's love. And this makes sense, right? Like when we're so stressed out, when you've got a deadline at work, when the kids are freaking out, when you're tired, what are you craving? Wouldn't grandma's love in that moment just feel so good? So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to take the cookies out of that file. Well, we're going to use chocolate today. We're going to take the chocolate out of that file and we're going to put it into the chocolate file. Grandma's love is in grandma's love file. Chocolate's in chocolate file. And so what this will do is it won't take the food away. You guys won't, don't worry. You'll still be able to have your chocolate whenever you want and your donuts and your ice cream and stuff. You just won't eat it to excess. So how awesome would it be if you guys could have just a few bites of ice cream? right? Or just a couple squares of chocolate, right? And then think about this, and then you actually forget that it's in the cupboard. That's going to be my test. I'll tell you more about that at the end. That'll be the test to see if this works for you, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so we didn't really talk about it, but the technique that I teach is based in emotional freedom techniques, or tapping is kind of the nickname for it. It is based on Chinese acupressure and cognitive psychology. So this guy figured out about maybe 20 years ago, he actually discovered this by accident. He was a psychologist who was also trained in acupressure. And he was working with this woman. It's a very famous case study. Her name is Mary. And she was afraid of water. He'd been working with her for 15 years. And back then, the way that you help people is exposure therapy. So he had her in, maybe like a couple inches of water in the bathtub at his house. He was working out of his home. And he was putting water on her and, trying to, therapy her out of this trauma with water. And so he had just gotten back from this acupressure training, and while she was in the bathtub, he just started putting his hands on these points on her body. And within about 10 minutes, she jumps up out of the bathtub, she runs out through the back of the door, and she jumps into his swimming pool and starts splashing around going, "I'm not afraid of water anymore, I'm not afraid of water anymore." And he's like, "What? What just happened here?" But he knew it had something to do with the acupressure points, and so he started testing it. And fast forward 10 years later, he developed a system that you can apply, which is what I'm going to teach you guys today, to any trauma, any emotional upset. So like your kids are stressing you out, you got in a fight with your significant other, you feel depressed, you have anxiety. You guys can actually use this technique to clear out those negative emotions. Right? Or to get motivated. If you guys are like, I don't want to go to the gym today, you can do this technique to get motivated. And so my hope for you guys is that you will look more into this technique. I'm going to teach you, I've changed it a bit, because what I found with regular EFT tapping, it actually doesn't work for weight issues. And so I've had to come up with my own system that I teach just to trainers and coaches and therapists, because the regular tapping for me wasn't working. I've been working with this technique since I was 15 years old, so more than half my life. And but it's an amazing technique, and I really, really want to encourage you guys, if you feel called, if you get the bug like I did and like a lot of people do, go online and research this, because it's a technique that will absolutely change your life, and it's changed my life. It is the reason that I'm here today. Thank you. All right, so who loves chocolate? You guys like chocolate? Most people like chocolate? Okay. What we're going to do is we're actually going to pass out some chocolate. And I met a couple lady bosses last night at the gym. Whoop, whoop, girls, well done. And we're actually going to bring them up here on stage, because as I walk you guys through this, you guys are all going to do this with us together, but I'm going to get feedback from them, because a lot of what they say is going to be what you guys are thinking and what you guys are feeling, okay? Hi, guys. This is Paula and Erica. They're so brave. Give them a round. Okay. So I met with them last night, and I just told you guys where the points were, right? And I kind of told you what we're doing. So this hasn't been set up or anything. I just wanted to have a couple people that I knew wouldn't get nervous being on stage. And you guys are all going to have your own experience with this as well. So what I want to do is I want to first go through the tapping points, because I'm going to walk you through an exercise while you guys are getting your chocolate. I just want you to look at these screens. So these are the acupressure points, okay? And what we do is we just tap on, it doesn't really matter which side, you just figure out what side works for you. You actually tap on these acupressure points, okay? So I'm going to tell you what to focus on. So I want everybody to kind of follow along with me. So the first point is the karate chop point. And then the second point is the beginning of the eyebrow. Then outside of the eye. Under the eye, under the nose, chin, kind of like right at the bottom of your lip before you hit your chin, collarbone, and then tippy top of the head. Awesome. You guys are doing so well. Okay, so let's do it again because I want you guys to really get it down. So first point is karate chop point. Beginning of the eyebrow, outside of the eyebrow, under the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, tippy top of the head. All right, cool. So, does everybody have their chocolate yet? That's gonna do it? No? You guys don't have your chocolate yet? Okay. Oh, you guys have chocolate? Okay, good. Who's asking? Heart? Yeah, that's the underarm. We're gonna skip that one because sometimes boobs get in the way and stuff, and it's just like, you actually don't have to get all of them. I'm kind of giving you guys a shortcut. Sometimes it's hard to reach. My arms are sore from yesterday. I'm like, it's fine. So this is a very forgiving process, you guys. This is like, this kind of adds to me training you guys in this. So you really can't do it wrong. So the tapping points here, just try to get it into the best spot. But if you're just kind of around the area, it's going to work. Okay? All right. Does everybody have their chocolate that's going to do this? All right, good. So the very first thing that I want you guys to do, actually, let's, do they have a mic here? Yes. Okay. So I want you to tell us, hello, is this working? Is this working? Erica. So Erica, we talked about chocolate for you last night, right?
Yes, yes.
And tell me what your memory was that you came up with.
So it was crazy because you kind of talked it out of me. It was something that was so deep inside, I didn't even realize that it was there. So when I was young, I would go to the store with my father, and I am a total daddy's girl. I love my mom too, but there's just a special place for dad, So we would go to the store, and I knew that every time that I went, I was going to get a Kit Kat bar. That's the only thing I ever wanted. It's the only kind of candy bar I ever got. It was amazing, and I have memories going back from, late childhood when we would actually walk into the store. My memories go all the way back to where I was so little that all I can remember are still images. And the first one is the Kit Kat bar, and then the second one is the Kit Kat bar in my dad's hands. Because that's how tall I was, and that's what I remember. And I just remember feeling so important and so loved. I was with my daddy. He always got me candy. We never could afford much, but he always made sure that he could get his little girl a Kit Kat.
So doesn't it thank you for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. I love you guys.
So you guys, can you see how this would cause you to crave chocolate as an adult? Because who could ever get enough of daddy's love when it's filed in that filing cabinet, right? So I want to share these stories with you so that, if you guys didn't come up with a memory, and let me just tell you something too, there'll be about 10% of you that won't have any happy memories. And that doesn't mean that you're wrong or broken. That just means that you actually need a different technique for this, and it's the emotional eating technique. I'll tell you more about that at the very end. 90% of people will have these positive emotions, but if you're sitting here like, what, I didn't get that, mine were all bad memories, and don't worry, I have something for you as well, so. Okay, Paula, tell us about yours.
So my story is kind of two people. My mom, little history, is bipolar. So I had a rough childhood growing up. And my grandmother was like my mother. When my mom was not sick, I do remember my mother buying those chunky bars. The ones filled with the raisins and the nuts and the chocolate. And that would be a time that I was able to connect with my mom and actually have my mom.
Yeah.
And with my grandmother, it's the desserts, because anytime my mom was not doing well, she would say, Paula, let's go race for dinner, and I do scarf my food, and people tell me all the time, slow down. And it'll happen one day. But so I eat fast, and if I beat her, she'd give me whatever dessert I wanted. So it was more of emotional attachment than I thought. after speaking to Brittany.
Yeah, see, you guys wouldn't think about this stuff, right? And here you are criticizing yourself that you have bad willpower, and what you're really wanting is like there's a little girl in you that just wants to be loved, you know? And so we're gonna help change that for you guys now. Oh, I see some of you guys crying. I'm sorry, I have that effect on people. Okay, good. We're all women here, we know. We're like waterworks. Okay, so what I want, the way that we're gonna start this is I want everybody to have just a little taste, unwrap your chocolate and just have a little taste of your chocolate. And what you're gonna decide is on a scale from 0 to 10, how strong is your desire to have more? Now I realize this might not be your amazing, perfect chocolate. Some of you guys, this will be your favorite chocolate, but some of you guys will, it's good. So, okay, good, all right, good. All right, so on a scale from 0 to 10, what's your number? So, Erica, what are you? And just have a little bite, you guys, because we're gonna keep doing this. Don't, yeah, careful. I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
Is it just one bite?
Just a little bite. Don't worry, you can have more. Okay. She feels good about that, okay. All right, so what's your number? Scale from 0 to 10.
I had a small breakfast. I'm at a 10. I'm at a 10.
You're at a 10?
Yes.
Okay, good. What are you?
I'm always at a 10.
You're always at a 10. All right. What are you guys? 10. Oh, double mic. Okay, well, all right. So let's do this together. All right, so put your chocolate down if you can, because you're gonna want to tap. Here, give me, I'll put yours in separate spots. Didn't think about having this. Okay. All right, so now this is going to sound a little bit weird, but I know, that's kind of what I do. I talk about crazy things. So what I want you to do is, you guys feel that desire, that 10 desire. I want to have more, right? And I want you to look down at the chocolate, or you guys imagine that the chocolate's there. And what you're going to do is, you have that strong desire because the feelings are there in your body. The feelings are really strong. So what we want to do first is we want to actually scoop the feelings out of the chocolate and then bring them into your body, because that's where they belong. You guys have put feelings in the food, and the food is just food. It just lies there. It doesn't do anything, but you have personalized it, okay? So with just closing your eyes, you might need to scoop a couple of times. Just reach down to the chocolate and imagine pulling all that taste and all those really good feelings into your heart. And just give me a nod when you guys have got that. You got that? And it seems weird, but it actually works. You're like, oh, whoa, it isn't me now. Okay. All right, and so now what I want you to do is we're gonna start tapping through the points, okay? And so this next part you can just visualize, okay? And you can close your eyes or you can keep your eyes open. But what I want you to do is I want you to, as you tap through the points, I want you to imagine that person that you used to eat this food with is standing in front of you. Okay, so Erica, for you it'll be your dad, and Paula, for you it'll be your grandma, right? Okay. And I want you to see them there in front of you, and as you tap through the points, what you're gonna do is you're gonna send them this taste and all these good feelings from your heart to their heart. And look at the expression on their face. See how much they love receiving this from you. And then watch and see as they gently send it from their heart back to your heart. Good, keep tapping through the points. And keep remembering what that chocolate tastes like. And just pass this chocolate taste from your heart to their heart, and from their heart to your heart. Yeah, I know this can be really emotional, you guys, so just know that you're doing the right thing. If you guys are crying and if this is really emotional for you, you know that this is the thing. This is really working. Okay, and so just keep tapping through the points, taste the chocolate in your mind, feel all those really good feelings, and just keep sending that taste and all those good feelings back and forth. Back and forth. Keep tasting the chocolate in your mind, feeling all those really good feelings, and just share this taste and all these good feelings back and forth. Back and forth. Good. Keep tasting the chocolate in your mind. Keep feeling all those really good feelings. And pass that taste and all those good feelings back and forth. Back and forth. All right, now take a nice deep breath. Everybody stop tapping for a minute. And let's just check to see what's happened, okay? A lot of you guys are crying and have had a big release. So the way that we work with tapping is that we always want to check our results. We want to see, are we making progress or not? Oh yeah, you guys, there's Kleenex up here if anybody needs that. So here, let me give you your chocolate back. This is yours. Wait, what? You got a weird look on your face, girl. What happened?
Did not really need the chocolate.
Wait, can you say that again? I don't think they could hear you. What?
I just didn't really need the chocolate.
Okay, but you really wanted that. You were like, I didn't have breakfast.
Okay, but wait a minute though. Something happened when you told us the first time to imagine like us giving our love to, it would be my dad. I imagine my dad standing right in front of me, and you know, he lives far away from me, so I always miss him. I remember it was like we were passing back and forth. He was smiling at me, and I felt the love that I know that he would want me to feel all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's the same love that I want my children to feel.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, first I was gonna start bawling. I was like, oh gosh. I was gonna start bawling, but then I concentrated on that tapping. And it was like the chocolate taste that was fading from my mouth, either by natural process or from this. It was replaced with my dad looking at me and me going, oh, this is what I'm supposed to feel all the time, whether it's from you or whether it's from me or whether it's from God. Like, I'm not supposed to get it from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, do you guys see how fast this can change? We're gonna do some more, because I know probably not everybody's feeling this way, but Paula, let's just check in with you. How are you feeling?
I can pretty much say the same thing she said. I felt the taste. Like when I eat chocolate, it lingers. It lingers. But
Okay.
I kind of just felt the taste turning more of it into a bitter
Okay,
than a sweet.
great. Did you
And-
expect that?
No. I was like, wait, where's the sweetness going?
Well,
So,
and you
no,
guys
didn't
think
expect that.
about the word sweetness. You know, if you guys have a problem, there's a lot of women that have like, oh, I could just crave sweets all the time. Being sweet to yourself with sweets. That's the subconscious thing, is that if you guys are craving sweets, you're actually craving love, you're craving sweetness. So that's when you know what, this is the time to take a time out and go do something sweet for me, because that's actually what's trying to come through. You're trying to be sweet to yourself. Okay, so just check, just do me a favor, just have another little taste and just tell me on a scale from 0 to 10, everybody else do this, what's your desire, what's left? Maybe you'll still like it, maybe you won't, I don't know. Everybody's gonna be different here. 0 to 10.
It's probably like at a 4.
A 4?
It doesn't taste the same.
A 4, okay, so you went from a 10 to a 4.
Yeah, it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah.
It's not.
So what does it taste like? What do you?
Before, like, it was just the smooth, the milky, the chocolate, just all like melting, and now it's just like, yeah.
It's dry?
It's just kind of dropped. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not as rich tasting as it used to be.
Because we're taking the feelings out of it. The love doesn't live in the chocolate. All right, but the thing is here with food cravings, we want to get it to a 0. So I have time to get you guys down to a 0. So we're going to get this so that when you're actually at a 0, what usually happens with people is that you will be able to eat chocolate, but just have a couple squares and leave the rest in your cupboard. And you guys can use this for any food. So I know some of you guys, you're not chocolate people, so you can use it for any food, okay? I mean, macaroni and cheese, pizza, Mexican, whatever. Okay, think about how much faster your results will come when you guys use this technique. I tell my students, go buy like 10 different foods that you crave, bring them home, do this technique on it. You will absolutely, absolutely be able to change your body in the next couple months if you do this. Okay, let's go to you, Erica. So you have a little taste.
I took a taste.
Okay, what happened?
This is so crazy. Like, it looked a little different to me when I was looking at it down in my hand. It didn't really look the same. It looked more like, ew. So I went ahead and I took the bite, actually reluctantly, which again is crazy. And it did taste the same to me. It was still good and yummy, but I felt like, well, the power's not there anymore. Like, the power is mine now. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have the power.
Yeah. Awesome, right, guys? Okay, so did you have a number? I mean, even if it was a 2 or a 3 or a 1, like, is there
number.
any desire to have more?
No, because I'm not sitting down at a meal. There's no desire. It's crazy, but I kind of want to just throw it onto that table over there.
You want to throw it in the garbage?
Yes, there's no garbage can, or I would have said the garbage. There you go, thank you.
I'll be the garbage for you. Woo! So guys, sometimes that happens. So how many of you guys are at a 0? Like, you have no desire to eat the chocolate anymore? Oh, wow, that's a lot of you guys. Okay, good. How many of you guys are at a 5 or lower in your number? Okay. How many of you guys are at a 5 or higher? Only a couple. Okay, good. All right, cool. So now, at this point, what we want to do is, Paul, here, do you want me to hold that for you? We're going to keep coming back and testing it, so we need to keep holding on to this. So what we want to do is notice what you still really like about it, okay? So what is it that you still, why are you a 4? You're a 4 for some reason. So maybe it doesn't taste quite the same, it's not as yummy, but there's something you still really like about it. What is that?
Well, my grandmother actually passed away when I was 23. So I still had to live with my mother, who's still sick. So I think it's just the missing of my grandmother.
Yeah, okay. Aw, and tap. Just tap while you're feeling that. Just go ahead and tap through the points. Yeah. These are really strong emotions, you guys. You know, this is really powerful. Yeah, send her guys love. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Yeah. So what I want everybody to do is I want you guys to notice what it is. Is it the sweetness? Is it the smoothness? Is it the creaminess? Is it the chocolatiness? Okay, what do you guys that you still really like about it? What is it? Just yell it out. Sweet, rich. Okay, so focus on what that thing is, okay? And here, will you hold this for a sec? And I want everybody to just repeat after me, okay? Even though I still love this, whatever it is, creaminess, chocolatiness, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I can't get enough of this chocolatiness, creaminess, smoothness, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I still want more of this creaminess, chocolatiness, I completely love and accept myself. And then just tapping through the points, that creaminess, that sweetness, it makes me feel so good. I just love the way I feel when I eat it. I don't want to give up this feeling. Don't take my chocolate away from me. It's so good. I don't know who I'll be without this chocolate. I don't know what I'll do without my sweets. Yeah, this is powerful. Maybe it's been my friend. Chocolate's always been there for me. When no one else has been there, chocolate was there for me. But I choose to relax now. And I choose to realize that this is just chocolate. It can't love me back. It just lies there. I choose to love myself. I choose to give myself that love that chocolate's always given me. because it's not in the chocolate anymore. All right, now take a nice deep breath. I'm gonna get your chocolate. Okay, so everybody, let's go back and we're gonna test our results. Maybe that worked, maybe it didn't, we don't know. So have another bite and decide what your number is on a scale from 0 to 10. Wait, what? You guys don't want it? You want to throw it away? Okay, I did tell them that this might happen, so I think we have some garbage cans around here somewhere. So just hold on to it for a minute until we're done. So let's just check in with Paula. What's your number, girl?
I think I'm done.
0?
Yeah.
Thank you. You're so welcome.
I didn't realize that this was such a huge emotional connection.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome. It's really powerful when you do this. You guys have so much more power now around your food cravings. Just knowing this technique will absolutely, absolutely help you on your weight loss journey. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for being our amazing demonstrations. You're so welcome. Thank you. You're so welcome. Oh, you guys. So what happened with you guys? What's your number now? Are you 3 or lower? -10. Oh, you guys are like, I'm done. All right. Who doesn't have a craving anymore? Who's at a 0? Oh, good. That's a lot of you. Okay. Who's at like a what? Oh, thank you. Who's at like a 3 or below? Couple of you. Who's at a 5 or below? Who's at a 1? Okay, good. Yes.
What happens if you have just in general food?
It's a really good question. Yeah, that's a really good question. So typically what I do when I start this presentation is I explain the difference between cravings and emotional eating. Cravings is when you have a craving for a specific food. So it's that thing that you'll drive 10 blocks or 10 or 20 minutes out of your way just to go get this certain ice cream from this certain place. Whereas, oh yeah, you guys, the garbage is coming around if you guys want to throw away your chocolate. She asked, what if you, I'm sorry, I should have repeated the question. So she asked, what if you just crave food in general? It's not a specific food. So I don't know if you guys have that too, and I know I had both. You know, sometimes it was for chocolate or cookies, and sometimes it was like, I have nothing in my house, but I'm gonna eat this can of beans, and it's cold, and I don't care, and I'm just like, I just need to put something in my mouth. So the way to know the difference is that cravings is for something specific, and emotional eating is like, I'll just eat anything. And usually you're gonna want junky foods when you're eating emotionally. So sometimes it's hard to know which is which, but you actually have to use a different technique for that, and that's what I talk about in my work and what I teach people. And actually, now that you brought that up, one of the things that came to me last night when I was preparing for this was that I wanted to give you guys that step as well. So I'm actually going to give that away to you guys for free, and here's how you get it. So if you want the notes and the emotional eating technique for free, all you have to do is get your phones out and text TAP. So text this number 31996. And text TAP, the word TAP to it, and it'll take you to a page that'll give you all this information.
Thank you.
And it'll ask you for your name and your email address, and you guys can opt out if you don't want to stay in touch. That's totally cool. But I'm going to give you guys like a whole bunch of stuff for free because I really want you guys to have this. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes?
What if you don't have like, it's not negative memories, it's a great childhood, but it's not, I can't find exact memory.
Yeah.
So like, it's hard for me to like do the connecting part.
Yeah. So what she asked is, what if she had a good childhood, but she can't really remember the exact memory? And I don't know if some of you guys feel that way as well. Usually what I say is, if you can't remember, just make it up. So just decide who you want to give these good feelings to, because the power is in sharing the taste and the feeling with somebody versus the food. We just want to switch that in your mind so that you're not connecting with the food, so your mind knows, you know what, I get love and emotion from people, not from food, because food doesn't do anything for me. People can give me love. And sometimes, who had the thing, sometimes people are like, you know what, I don't really have anybody in my life. I was like this for a long time, which is why I know I don't have anybody in my life that I want to share this with. Like, that doesn't feel safe for me. So if that is you, you can also use an animal, or you can use a tree, or something else that just feels like it can really hold space for you. I had a woman the other day use the city of San Francisco. So that she felt really held by that visualization. Any other questions? Yeah. So what she said is she couldn't picture just one food. There was a lot of foods that, when she was trying to choose. So that just means that you probably have a lot of connections with food, which we all do, and your brain was trying to figure out which one should we work on. So what I would do in that situation is just pick one and focus on that, and then do this technique with that one, and then pick the next one and do this technique with that one. So you want to separate the foods and do this each food. She doesn't have a memory to connect to it. So then that might be emotional eating then. So, which is why I'm giving you guys the second step here. If you guys have the emotional eating technique and the food craving technique, you'll literally be unstoppable. So what your work will have to entail is figuring out which technique to use when, and that's sometimes just trial and error. Cool. All right, did you guys like this? Yeah? Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm actually going to be in the back of the room after this. You guys are going to go on a break. So if you guys have any other questions, I'll be in the back of the room, and I'm happy to talk to you about whatever you need. Okay? You're welcome.